You know, when I started the poll on Twitter, I asked if you guys wanted me to work on my music album that I've been putting off for a while now. I asked if you guys wanted me to play just SMP or if you wanted me to play Hypixel, but you guys wanted an explanation of my lore instead. So, I guess that's what you're gonna get. I'm going to tell you guys all the lore that's been revealed or will only be revealed in this stream regarding Kitsu from the Jester SMP. And hopefully the streams are going to save with higher quality now because I fixed up everything that was wrong. If not, I'm just screwed. Hi everybody, I'm Kitsu and welcome to my stream. There we go. Get some lo-fi music in the background. Let's see. Should be right here? Yep. Okay. So, we have a document labeled lore this far, and I might release this on Twitter after I'm done. You guys are gonna hear all the Jester SMP lore that you have so far. And you guys might get a lore stream this weekend. I'm not sure. I'll still have to talk to a couple people about it. Maybe static, maybe not. Who knows? So, what exactly happened first? Because, you know, there's first, and then there's then, and then, and then. Jesus Christ, my spelling. And then the present. So what all has happened, really? So, day one. Day one was complicated because the stream that I didn't save. It glitched and crashed, so it's only semi-lore technically. But at that point in time, what happened on day one, or basically, you know, the first few days of the server? Well, actually, a few things happened, and not many people know exactly about that stuff. So, for instance, the Hill House was the first house actually created on the server. And my character, Kitsu, they made the Hill House. And, at that point, it was just, like, their house. Like, they could do whatever they wanted with it. And, they searched for diamonds for quite a while Jester went and did their thing. And that was when they got the first diamonds, which they named the first diamond of the server. The other 3 diamonds in the patch were used for a diamond pickaxe. Mind you, this was all in the first 15-20 minutes of the server. So within 15 to 20 minutes, Kitsu had already gotten 4 diamonds and was now building a nether portal to go to the nether and go get blaze rods, because blaze rods were very important to Kitsu. So she made the nether portal under the Hill House, which, you know, is the main nether portal now that connects almost everyone's bases. So this nether portal, after she went to the nether, she found the fortress. She was the first one to get into the fortress, first one to get blaze rods. And at this point, other people had started logging onto the server. So we had a fair amount of people in VC at this point. At this point, I think I decided to log off for the day. next sequence. The next sequence, as far as I remember personally, I didn't like go through all the VODs. I think that would have killed me. First off, Kitsu went and made Ravenforth. Now, Ravenforth, as you know, is Kitsu's home in a small village that only she inhabits. And the first thing she did was she made a bush to live in. It was a very small bush, and it just had a few chests, her bed, and a few important items such as her smithing table, her anvil, and a brewing stand. At this point, she didn't have an end chest, so she had a few very important items at this point that she hid in a chest underground. This happens to be the first diamond. This also happens to be the friendship tulips, one of which was given to Jester. Now, jeez. Jesus Christ. My phone is still connected to my headphones. No, wait. This was not what I meant to do. There we go. Let me get the music started back up. At this point, Kitsu did a lot of non-canon stuff, although there were a lot of streams back at the very beginning. There was also a lot of off-camera work. It was a bit of a hyperfixation of mine, so I proceeded to, I believe, get diamond armor and even netherite off-camera. I remember dying with my netherite and having it all despawn. So I lost all my netherite, all my diamonds. I had to start again, but then I made my current set of netherite. And there was only one item of the netherite that was named at the time, and that happens to be the binder. The binder is, as you could probably guess, Kitsu's most important piece of armor, and she doesn't like taking it off. Now, of course, we have her shin guards, her beanie, and her traveler boots as well. And we also have her tools, and all of them have some sort of soul-themed. Her favorite of which being her main weapon, which is, in fact, not her sword, but her axe. Soul Taker. So, these are most of Kitsu's important items at the time. She just has these few things. Now, of course, it doesn't seem like few things. She is the only person who's constantly interacting with other people who has netherite armor already. And, you know, her book. Redacted. No, not reacted, redacted. Now, the purpose of Redacted was, as Kitsu claims, to help with her memory loss, because that is a recurring trait. But there's something strange about Redacted, as you all know. Redacted doesn't just help her with her memory loss. It has a bunch of strange codes in it. It has a bunch of strange colors in it. And it seems other people are talking to her at times. It also has her allegiances and important items listed in it. I didn't misspell allegiances. You have no idea what you're talking about. Quick fun fact, I don't remember everything. I'm not nearly as forgetful as Kitsu. There is one other thing that Kitsu has that's very important that she considers. It's called the alley. It's an allium. Now, not much has been shown about the allium. All we know about it is that it exists, and Kitsu finds it important. There is also a disc labeled 13. 13 is, I believe it was a gift from Static. And of course, there's Kitsu's first ever pet on the server. It's funny because a lot of the time, while she was playing, she called the dog Parrot because it was really funny to her that to have a dog named Parrot, because she believed that the others would think it was a parrot if they didn't see the dog, which was true. It worked for a while. But in her mind, Kitsu called Parrot Poppy. So Poppy was the dog's real name. But as you all know, or as you've come to the stream to find out, Poppy doesn't exist anymore because Poppy was murdered by Static. Things start getting a little chaotic. There's a fight between Kitsu and Static. Well, Kitsu is at Ravenforth. She uses her communicator and she fights Static about the murder of Poppy, which she clearly saw in chat. They argue for a while before Kitsu starts to lose faith in the fact that she had the facts set in front of her. Her memory's getting jumbled, her emotions are getting in the way. She doesn't quite know if what she saw is reality anymore. So she starts to question herself. And when she does that, she goes and she walks back to the Hell House and she apologizes to Static for something that she was right about. But she doesn't think she's right anymore, she forgot. Now, of course, things calm down for a bit, other than the fact that Static keeps baiting Kitsu. That's not important yet. The next important thing is Kitsu talking to a fair number of the members already, and asks what they should call the village. And, upon her suggestion and a unanimous vote, it's called Blossomvale. Blossomvale, which contained, at the time, only the Hell House and only Appy's house. And things started to calm down for a while. They were chill, they were smooth, they were nice. Kitsu went back to her own base. She grinded a lot more. And the stream ended. So Kitsu eventually becomes friends with Static. Out of guilt, out of pure want, out of sympathy? We might not know, but we do know that it happens. Of course, this leaves us with more questions. Why did she do it? Why didn't she just hide herself away? Well, it's becoming pretty obvious now that once Kitsu gets an attachment, it stays that way. Even as she forgets completely about Poppy. We know she cared way too much about the dog that she'd only had for a few days at most. So what happens next? Of course, the friendship starts blooming. Kitsu and Static go everywhere together. They're best friends at this point. But of course, Kitsu keeps messing things up. She sees herself as nothing but an inconvenience and starts worrying quite a bit whenever she's around Static. She carries invisibility potions in case she has to run, in case she has to hide. She has ender pearls. But she does have something that she hopes will calm Static down. At this point in time, she has created 52 lumens. Lumens are a strange crystal that not much is known about, but they do make others happy. And it works on everyone. But for some people, it doesn't work quite as well. The more you have, the happier it's supposed to make you. But of course, you can't just tame a raging temper tantrum with a few lumens. And Kitsu, as far as she knows, only has 52. She has to give them out carefully. And she also knows that they don't work on herself. So some of them are given to other people. Erebus, Static, Jester. Maya, I'm pretty sure, also has one. This makes Static happy for a while. Everything seems better. Everything seems okay in Kitsu's eyes. It's not okay. She's not in a good place, but she thinks she is. So it's fine. But then, Maya asks for a word with her. So she goes over to Maya's place. It's nice, it's cute. And Maya talks with her for a little bit. Static, of course, is whispering to Kitsu the entire time, don't trust Maya. Of course, Static will do anything to keep Kitsu with him, so he says, don't trust Maya. Tell me exactly what Maya says. And Kitsu says, okay. She doesn't think much of it. It's, it's just Static trying to protect her, like usual. But Maya probes a little, and she asks Kitsu what's going on, what's wrong? And Kitsu tries to keep composure, but breaks down and vaguely tells Maya a few things. Maya gets concerned and brings Kitsu to her axolotl pod. And Kitsu feels a little calmed down by the axolotls. But eventually she says she has to go because she's overwhelmed by the confrontation. She goes back to Ravenforth with Static. Static, one of the only two people who knows where Ravenforth is other than Kitsu. The other one is Jester. So Kitsu goes back and talks with Jester. Kitsu goes back and talks with Static. And tells Static about the pond and how it was nice. So Static decides to make a pond for Kitsu. Static promises to make a pond for Kitsu. Things slowly start to escalate. Kitsu becomes more secretive. Of course, that's true. And, you know, around this point in time, or a little before, it's hard to keep a direct timeline, the Church of God is made. God, which is a joke started from one of the server admins talking through the server. Since the server admin is talking through the server, we decided to call it God, and now we have the church that Kitsu makes. The Church of God. And of course, in a giant fuck up, Kitsu makes the church look like a penis. So eventually, the little penis in Minecraft becomes one of the symbols of God. Which is ridiculous, yes, but it's a Minecraft server. Around this time, Kitsu also shows an aversion to rain. And it's not known why. Eventually, she also claims at one point that Kitsu is not here right now. We know now that this was the first sign of Phyllis. Phyllis is somebody that we know of that writes in the book as well. So, Phyllis, we know, is a writer in the book. The book also never leaves Kitsu's inventory. In the redacted. So, upon conclusion, Phyllis appears to be an alter personality of Kitsu's. Now, Kitsu still doesn't know this, even though Phyllis has actually showed up on stream and done an entire stream. Now, if we will remember, at this point, Kitsu is a shapeshifter. It's been stated a few times that she is. And this is of great benefit to an alter personality, because it means that Phyllis can shapeshift into whatever form he desires. So Phyllis often takes the form of an Enderman. And as you know, Endermen are hurt by the rain. So, if you draw those pieces together, you can realize that all of this is caused by Phyllis right here. So let's mark that in, what's this color? Red. Let's mark that in red, just so we all know it's Phyllis and not anybody else. Now, of course, Kitsu gets suspicious of the other person writing in her book because Phyllis is writing in red ink. Kitsu doesn't know where the red ink comes from. Kitsu doesn't know she even carries a quill with red ink. So she starts writing in the book about it, saying stuff like, "Who are you?" and "Answer me." Now, of course, she doesn't get a response, but she herself starts writing in purple. So now we have two separate entities writing in the book. Kitsu, who is purple, and Phyllis, who is red. But of course, there are other colors. Other colors that haven't been quite researched. As I do believe, there is gray and there is green. Let me just check the book really quick to make sure. Gray, green. Oh! And there is also cyan. So these are the three colors that we know nothing about. We just know that red is Phyllis, and Phyllis is very protective. We know that gray has only ever spoken one time. Gray said, "This is everything we've ever deserved." So gray is very much depressed. Green has talked a couple of times, but not very often. Green seems very skittish. And very anxious. Cyan has also only spoken once. And Cyan said one thing. The Lumens work. That's all we know about these three colors in the book. So, we're going to move on to the next thing. Static and Co. Static and Co. Of course, as you all know, if you watch Static streams, Static fell head over heels for Co the first time that they met in canon. And Kitsu saw this and was happy for Static. Congratulations, I'm glad you found someone to love. And Static just kept going on and on and on. So Kitsu decided to go and find Ko for Static and talk to them. Upon talking with Ko, Kitsu found out that he was very scared. And she was observant. She took off most of her armor, except for her binder. And she just chatted with them. Eventually going back to Static and saying that Static should talk to Ko directly. The both of them talk, and then Static gets angry at Kitsu once again. And the abuse from Static continues. But, you know, it's par for the course, isn't it? For Kitsu, at least. So, of course, Kitsu is, you know, just shrunken down to herself. And lo and behold, she disappears for a week. This sends Static into a frenzy of anxiety. Kitsu has been hiding She's been resource gathering a little, but hiding, mostly, from Static. Finally, Static sees them. And Kitsu denies ever been hiding. She says she's been mining, she's been looking for netherite, anything to knock Static off her trail, but again and again and again, they don't believe her, they berate her. How long have I been streaming? Give me like 1 second. I need to go to the bathroom. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm better. Erebus, stop plugging me while I go to the bathroom. Jeez. Okay, Kitsu vanishes for a week. Static is pissed. Static is so unbelievably pissed. But they reconcile the next day. And after such a long time, the pond is built. Of course, doesn't have any saddles or any fish in it yet, but it's a start. Erebus. Of course, Kitsu isn't in the best mental state and it leaks out. And Static gets angry that it leaks out because it was supposed to be their day. It was supposed to be perfect. It wasn't supposed to end like that. But it did anyway. It did end up shitty anyway. Thank you, Kay. And ever since the pond, Kitsu and Static haven't been seen together. They've been checking in. Kitsu and Static have been doing, how would you put this, daily check-ins. I think you would call it. Oh, and of course they built the cigarette stand. So, in the present, Static and Kitsu do daily check-ins. Kitsu hasn't been writing in the book. However, something's going to happen in the next few days. If we can swing it, that is. And I believe that is all the lore I have revealed for Kitsu. So, I'm gonna go eat dinner, and maybe I'll do a stream later. Maybe not. I don't know. But this is all of the lore for Kitsu so far. I hope you guys enjoyed me going over it and clarifying anything. If you have any questions, go ahead and at me on Twitter. Go ahead and comment on the stream once it's over. Go ahead and ask me anything, and I will be happy to answer. Thank you all for coming. I hope you enjoyed this this clarification, and I will see you guys in the next stream. I love you all. Bye-bye.